Bono, President Clinton, when he was finishing his speech, he said that the recovery in Ireland will depend on what happens in every heart and mind of every Irish person, first and foremost. Do you think that's where this starts?
Yeah, there's a spirit, I suppose, in the room that he was quite touched by, and I think it was oddly optimistic. I don't know if that's what it's been like over the last 2 days, because I only came in at the end. But I thought there'd be more wailing and gnashing of teeth, because we're very good at that as a nation. But what was interesting and striking to me was, despite losing in New Zealand, there was a certain fighting spirit there. And of course, we have to believe in ourselves. And I think the other point that came across was that actually others believe in us perhaps more than we do sometimes. And though I don't suffer with that problem myself,
One of the
I have
things
a lot of other ones I suffer from.
One of the things you said was that you were ready to go to work for the country or for the Taoiseach. What do you think you could do?
Well, I don't know if whatever he wants me to do. But I was making a joke. The President Clinton said, "Get the show on the road," and I said, "Well, here it is. We'll form a band. I'd love to be in a band with, say, Gabriel Byrne, Colin Tobin, the Taoiseach, President Clinton. There's probably a few other characters we could gather along the way, and just go out there and." Not every week or I would be shot at home, but every season try to do an event to tell people what our country's about, who we are, that we think we're smart and ready for the 21st century, which I really do believe.
You were mentioning about this anarchic mind that operates here in Ireland that you think is very suited to the digital age. Is it stuff like that that we've forgotten to tell the world about, or that we didn't realise we had and that we need to tell the world about?
Yeah, I was making quite a serious point, actually. I was making a joke of it. But actually, we was talking about Steve Jobs, and who just passed away. He was a friend of ours, and we're very sad about that. But the first Apple campaign was a picture of Einstein with his tongue sticking out. I don't know if you remember that.
It's a famous
and it
poster.
said, "Think different." And that really is the key to the digital age. And not in some sort of airy-fairy way. To write code, to write software, to crack the problems of the digital age, you have to think differently. And people who go to, in other countries, with hierarchical societies, where your knife and fork and your accent get you to the right schools and whatever it is, they don't have that same thing. It's kind of drilled out of them. It worked very well in the Industrial Revolution, but in the information revolution, thinking different, smartness. India particularly, there's some amazingly brilliant software writers. Ireland, this is who we are. And I was just making a feature out of that. That sometimes it's the thing that annoys us about each other, that anarchic spirit. That's what makes us good at the future.
Do you think, some people say that there's something happening in Dublin now when it comes to small technology companies that are beginning to emerge. Google's been here for 10 years, but a lot of small Irish companies are now just beginning to emerge. You've seen the city change in terms of its character over the years. Do you get a sense that Dublin's becoming cool again and that things in the technology side are kind of happening here?
The technology people are very cool. Paddy Cosgrave's got a bunch of people coming in next month, founders. So Sean Parker, one of the guys behind Facebook and now Spotify, he's coming in. But interestingly, a lot of young CEOs from these digital companies in Silicon Valley and around the world are coming into Dublin. Now, it's a long way. And we live, if we're honest, and we have to be at a moment like this, we live on a small rock in the North Atlantic Ocean. It is pissing rain here a lot. We have to be very smart about how we bring people to want to work here and live here. I think the government has been really smart in fighting for its tax competitiveness. I think that was really smart, not accepting the pressure from France and Germany. And then I think there's other things. It is culture. It's, you know, walking around Temple Bar and there's something in the air. That I think the founders will really enjoy that. They will enjoy the music here. They will enjoy the fact that we take literature seriously here.
If there was one thing, now I know you haven't been here for the whole event, but an event like this, if there was one thing that people could grasp from it, you know, not necessarily a specific policy, but some sort of sense of what people are trying to achieve here, what do you think that should be?
I think maybe your first question was probably the answer to your last one. I think that the idea that it is within us to make this country ours again, so we're not beholden to these financial institutions. The Irish people are doing a heroic job. It is an extremely unjust situation that they have found themselves in. A private sector catastrophe is being paid for by the public sector. And the Irish people, when they get out of this, when we get out of this, it's those people who have borne the brunt of the problem that I'll be saluting, not the bankers.
Bono, thanks very much.
Okay,
Thanks
thank you.